Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and you need to strap in because I got some interesting things for you here. Things are getting really interesting for a lot of reasons. Let's get it going. First, I got this from XRP Bart, just in from Watcher Guru, just in 8 environmental organizations have urged the White House to take action against proof of work and other Bitcoin mining activities. Folks, there are no coincidences. Pay attention to what's going on. Also pay attention to this. This is from Charles Hoskinson. So here's the word on the street on Luna. Listen to this. Forwarded, and we call it here Terra equals terror. Okay? Terra Luna. BlackRock and Citadel borrowed 100,000 Bitcoin from Gemini. It appears in their loan book. They swapped $25,000 of Bitcoin into $25K of that Bitcoin into UST. This was all done quietly in anticipation of the attack. When the time was right, they called up Do Kwon at Terra Foundation and said they wanted to sell a lot of BTC for UST. As it was a large trade, they told him they didn't want to move the market and asked if he would like to buy their large block of BTC at a discount for UST. Do Kwon took the bait. He gave them a huge chunk of UST, thus lowering the UST liquidity significantly. At that point, BlackRock Citadel dumped all of the BTC and UST, causing massive slippage and triggering a cascade of forced selling in both assets. The real problem was BlackRock Citadel knew that Anchor, which holds a lot of Luna, was a Ponzi scheme. They offered 20% staking APY, for Christ's sake, and this crash would trigger more withdrawals than Anchor could repay. These forced withdrawals and selling would trigger a massive sell-off in Luna, thus further breaking the $1 peg and wrecking the market further. BlackRock and Citadel can now buy the Bitcoin back cheaply to repay the loan and pocket the difference. Meanwhile, billions of longs in Bitcoin VAR were wiped out. This was pure market manipulation. What about that? I don't know who wrote that. All right, now check this out. Lynette Zhang. I keep telling you XRP, XLM, gold, and I people keep telling me silver too. I own silver, folks. I just keep forgetting to put it on here. So I'm going to start putting, when I say XRP, XLM, gold, silver, I'll add silver to this because I do own silver. I bought some silver today, folks. Now listen, but Lynette Zhang here is knocking it out of the park. I've got 3 clips for you today. You need to watch every word of all of them. She knows that we are at the end of this monetary system with the US dollar as the world reserve currency. She knows that we're at the end, and she'll tell you it died in 2008. That's what got me originally buying gold and silver and then discovering Bitcoin and then getting into crypto. This woman knows what she's talking about. What I learned over time that I don't think she's been following about crypto is, in my opinion, XRP and XLM were designed for this changeover into this system, which is why I own those 2, gold and silver. These are the 4 things I'm focused on. Listen to what she says.
So since gold is real money, good money, and dollars, yuan, yen, whatever, is government-based money, the way to know how much this would go to, an ounce of gold would go to during a reset, I do it really simply because I'm not going to get you to the penny and I don't care anyway about that, is you take all of the debt that's been created, because that's how dollars are created, or any government-based money is created by debt. And you can use that as a proxy for actually how much currency and how much fiat money has been created, because they've taken that data away from us. And then you divide it by all the gold that exists in the whole wide world, whether it's in ground or it's above ground, because gold is indestructible. And that, the last time I checked, it'll be higher now because there's more debt, but the last time I checked, that was like $13,500. So a spot trading around, 1940, 60, 80, 2000, 5,000 even, right? It's a bargain.
All right, folks, it's a bargain. I keep telling you, this link will be in the top of the description. I'm buying my gold on Glint right now, and this allows me to use my debit MasterCard and actually spend the gold. If I had a moment, if there was a hyperinflationary moment, I've got physical gold, physical silver. You can buy physical gold through Glint too, by the way. But I've got physical gold, physical silver, and my Glint card and gold in my Glint account so that I've got all the bases covered. And then, of course, I have my XRP and my XLM for the switch over to the new system. Check this out. If you still don't understand, listen to what she says.
The only tool that they really have are interest rates. And, back when we shifted in the early 70s, and I was alive then, so I remember that. You were a thought, maybe, but no, but when you live through that, and I was in my late teens, so I wasn't really fully aware of what was going on, but I was certainly old enough to get that experience. And we transitioned from a quasi-gold-backed system to a pure debt-based system and handed over control of inflation to the central banks. And I look at history a little different than a lot of the history books because interest rates are used to regulate the rate and speed of the inflation. So if they want to stimulate the economy, they drop interest rates down, more people borrow and spend. If that gets running too hot and becomes noticeable, they raise interest rates up to slow the borrowing and spending. And so that's how they've regulated inflation. But the problem is we're at the end of the currency's life cycle. And, I've studied life cycles since 87. And frankly, you are at a much different point in your life cycle at your age than I am at my age or my grandchildren, my granddaughter who's 6, right? And everything has that life cycle. Everything has that age, and currencies are absolutely no different. But we're anchored at 0, and we have been since the system actually died in 2008. And it's just been a scramble to try and put the new system to shift into in place.
XRP,
so when
XLM.
they talk about fighting inflation, well, this is more of a supply than a demand-driven inflation, and that makes it different too. I mean, how many cars do you need? This is not about buying more cars. This is now about putting food on the table versus buying Netflix.
Exactamundo, folks. Check this out from Dark Defender. Hi all, XRP is in our green area and wave trend is in the oversold area. The point is that XRP never had 7 red candles in a row. So don't be surprised if we see a huge green candle. I like that. That sounds good to me. I think if the world really understood what was going on, like what she was talking about in that video, you'd never see anything but a green candle in XRP and XLM, but they don't get it yet. They will. Empower Oversight requests SEC OIG conduct investigation into the failure of the SEC's ethics office to prevent cryptocurrency conflicts of interest by senior staff. They've sent a letter to the SEC OIG requesting a comprehensive review of the SEC's ethics officials to properly manage SEC official William Hinman's potential conflicts of interest regarding cryptocurrency issues. Records that were disclosed to Empower Oversight show that the SEC's ethics office cautioned Hinman that he had direct financial interest in the former law firm Simpson Thacher, and thus he needed to recuse himself from any matters that would affect the firm. In contrast to the instruction from the ethics office, records disclosed from that information, Mr. Hinman failed to disclose Simpson Thacher's and by extension his direct financial interest in the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance. Hinman had a reported contact with the law firm's personnel. These contacts included referral of business prospect and participation in at least one exclusive conference designed to provide insiders with special access to high-level SEC personnel. Then we've got this from Crypto Law, John Deaton's law firm. He's letting you know that they just filed this formal referral. It was a formal referral sent by them. Then John Deaton has a call to action. And here's the gist of it. I'm asking that you please write and ask the banking committee to demand that the SEC Office of the Inspector General proceed immediately with a comprehensive investigation as requested by Empower Oversight. And then Empower today, this is getting hot. It's getting hot in here now. Empower Oversight claimed, this is a Law 3, this is a publication where all these attorneys look to. This is like legit publication right here. They're quoting from the article. Empower Oversight claims Hinman didn't follow instructions that the SEC's ethics office gave him to avoid conflicts tied to his financial interests in Simpson Thacher, including the firm's connection to the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance, or EEA. Here's the article. SEC asked to probe ex-officials' crypto statements. Folks, when stuff like this starts getting written in Law 360, people start paying attention. Now, for a long time on this channel, I have told you that words mean things, folks. And trust me when I say words mean things. Sometimes you see a word and you don't notice it, and then all of a sudden you see the word pop right back up somewhere else, and you're like, wait a minute. And then you see it pop up again, and you're like, uh-oh. Words mean things. There are no coincidences. That's what happened to me today. Remember when in the last video I was talking about this Brian Armstrong tweet where he's talking about somebody had called out Coinbase for having something in their documentation that meant more or less that if they went bankrupt, your XRP or your digital assets that are held on the platform, the court could decide that those would be part of the bankruptcy proceedings and could be used to pay off creditors. That was my reading of it. This was his explanation, but there was one word that he mentioned in here, and at the time I didn't think much of it. For our retail customers, we're taking further steps to update our user terms such that we offer the same protections to those customers in a black swan event. This black swan event, we should have had these in place previously, so let me apologize for that. So I was listening to these Lynette Zhang, some of these clips from her. This is from her 2 weeks ago. Listen to this one.
This irrational exuberance, and we're seeing the breakdown. So to be perfectly honest with you, and if you look at the new reports that have just come out from the IMF and the World Bank and the BIS, I'm going to be reading the BIS later today, frankly. What you're seeing is they're telling you how close we are. And if there is another black swan event, which rising interest rates could certainly cause a systemic event, that they would not be able to come in with their...
There's that word, systemic event. Isn't that the same words that Elizabeth Warren used when she was warning about stable coins a few months ago, and then we just happened to have a stable coin attack yesterday, and now the regulators are in a position to come in because this could be a systemic event, and she's talking black swan event here.
Money and fix. So we're very, 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 very close. I mean, let me tell you, I'm very grateful. See, the system died in 2008, and I knew it.
The system died. Now, black swan event. Then this guy replies to my tweet here. So remember, Brian Brooks says it in his tweet thread. Then Coinbase CEO says no risk of bankruptcy amid black swan event. Why are they all talking about black swan events all of a sudden? This is the CEO. I guess this is the new CEO of Coinbase. I thought Brian. Let me see. Brian Armstrong. Is he not the CEO anymore? He is the CEO. I don't know who. This must be just a commentator that's talking about Coinbase, but using that term black swan event again. Well, let me tell you, folks. I'm going to remind you. I've got the link to the Ledger Nano S in the top of the description of this video. Freaking, I'm just telling you, I keep a lot of mine. I'm considering pushing all of my XRP, everything I own, onto my Ledger Nano S's, because this has got me a little freaked out, and it should have you freaked out too. They're all talking about black swan events, and Brian Armstrong is trying to defend the idea, and he admits even in his thread that the courts haven't really decided yet how they would look at your digital assets. Well, you know what? What if they didn't want Coinbase to have a big market share in this thing? What if something did happen? What if they wanted Wall Street to be holding all these cryptos all along? I don't trust these people. These people are manipulators. There's no telling what's going on. And when I don't trust, I go to my Ledger Nano S. It'll be in the top of the description of this video. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family about the link in my description to the Ledger Nano S. Thanks for listening.